Yikers. Within less than a year after buying Twitter, Musky Boy has single-handedly dismantled an already toxic, terrible, and dying social media platform. Ayo, it's Joe, aka Mad Joe FC. This is going to be a shorter video, just a mini discussion about Elon Musk's utter nonsensical decision making. I don't have much to say about Elon's Twitter takeover, though there are a few thoughts I want to share about it and about Twitter in general. His latest decision of attempting to silence a non-profit organization was the tipping point for me and is what pushed me to finally make a video about the takeover and my thoughts on Twitter as a whole. To start this off, I want to make it known that I think Twitter is, without a single shred of a doubt, the most toxic social media platform in existence. The only reason I won't call it the worst is because TikTok exists. That's also a discussion video I want to make eventually. My main reason for my dislike of Twitter for the last few years is due to all the negativity, toxicity, hate, and pessimistic people within that simmering cesspool of a platform. From my experience on Twitter, it seems that no matter what type of page I'm on, people will actively make some random comment on the post to turn it into something political, religious, or social issue related. And if people aren't in the comments of posts doing that, then their replies to almost any type of post are more than less simply just negative, unencouraging, and pessimistic, compared to pretty much any other social media platform. I'm a person who generally intentionally stays away from anything involving politics, religion, or social issues, because throughout my life so far, I've come to realize that having conversations about those three subjects usually lead to people being negative, toxic, pessimistic, and just unhappy human beings. There are plenty of people on Twitter who actually seem to enjoy soaking in the negativity and toxicity that comes from having discussions about those topics, but not me, dude. I'm a person who always does his best to be positive, encouraging, hopeful, and happy in life, regardless of whatever type of situation I'm going through. That's why I really enjoy using Reddit, my favorite social media platform other than YouTube. From my experience on Reddit, it seems that as long as I stay away from subreddits about politics, religion, or social issues, then mostly any other type of subreddit I go in, everyone for the most part is happy and positive, simply just sharing their thoughts and stories about whatever post I'm on within different subreddits. I won't cap and will admit that a few of the previous sentences I just spoke about Twitter's negativity and Reddit's positivity were taken from my video I made about Reddit being a top tier platform. I feel it's okay that I reused some script from a different video I made, because it isn't like that video got many views anyway. Therefore, most people watching this video probably didn't watch my video about Reddit to begin with. The title of that video had unfortunately aged a bit poorly due to all the drama that went down between the CEO, third-party Reddit apps, and different subreddits, only 2 or 3 weeks after I had uploaded that video. Though everything I said about Reddit in that video and how I feel about the platform all remain true, even after the drama. The main root of the situation isn't stemming from any moral or ethical problems regarding the platform itself, but rather problems with the CEO of it. If you want to watch that video I made about why I love Reddit, there's a card in the top right corner of this video right now, and I'll also have a link to the video within the description box of this video. Okay, enough about Reddit. I had only brought it up to make a point of why I dislike Twitter so much, because of how toxic it is, compared to literally every other social media platform. As much as I dislike X, there is one, and only one, aspect of it I do appreciate to a minimal extent. Though a ton of toxic sludge gets pumped onto the platform, Twitter used to be, and currently still is, a great way to get different kinds of media information right from the source. That's literally the only reason and time I ever intentionally get on Twitter. Whenever some kind of major news breaks out that I'm interested in, I know without a doubt that I'll be able to find out if the news is true or false by going on Twitter to see if the news is trending. I get on there quickly for a few minutes to get all the info I want about whatever breaking news happening I'm interested in, and then immediately get the heck off the platform to avoid all the toxicity. Other than obtaining breaking media news or other major events, I never touch X, and I'm so much better off staying away from it. It's really nothing more than a political circus arena at this point, with an underlying objective of throwing toxicity back and forth on almost any given post. Everything else offered on X is available on most other social media platforms, though in either a much more positive and happier, or at least neutral environment. Other social media apps like Reddit and Instagram also offer a few things X doesn't, like a explore or discover feed, which is where I spend a large portion of my time on those apps, rather than staying within the confines of my personal feed of posts from people I follow, or a trending feed with a limited number of things trending each day for a limited amount of subjects and topics. I've now finally aired out my dislike for Twitter and my reasons for why in a video on my channel. Something I've been wanting to do for a while now. It feels good. Now to talk about Muskrat's takeover of the platform and how rapidly he's been running it into the ground. It's quite baffling how much he has dismantled the platform and made it even worse than it already was within the relatively short time since he bought it. Imagine paying $44 billion for something just to completely ruin it within less than a year of owning it. That would be an L. A major L. As I said at the beginning of the video, I don't really have much to say about the takeover itself. I don't really know any of the changes he's made other than the 3 or 4 I'll mention soon in the video, and frankly, I don't even care enough to research every single change. The first change I'll discuss is one I only knew about because of how much of an instant meme it became. I don't remember the exact details of it, but I remember that basically any random Jimbo could, I think, impersonate accounts of official companies on the platform. They could make any type of post they wanted, and it would look like it was posted by the official company themselves. Obviously, that it led to some very odd, unusual, and inappropriate posts from different company accounts. Again, I don't remember the exact details of it, but I know it was something like that, and it had of course gotten so out of hand that whatever change had been enabled allowing people to do that had to be disabled. The second change I know of and heard about because of how major it was, or at least seemed to be at that point in time, is Musk himself being replaced with someone else as Twitter's CEO. Now, one would think this would be somewhat of a good thing. New CEO, meaning there will potentially be more sensible, wise, structured decision-making that will be beneficial to the platform. Well, clearly not. What difference does it make having a new CEO when the man who literally owns the platform is still the one calling all the shots at the end of the day? The third change I know about is one that I would not agree with for any other social media site. Well, now thinking about it, I would 100% agree with it happening on TikTok and think it would do much good for society. Even more so than it would for people who use Twitter. It's something I actually thought would be a good thing, specifically and only for a social media site as toxic as Twitter, and as idiotic as TikTok. The change was that users became limited to being able to view only 600 tweets each day. When I saw that news, I had thought to myself, this is an absolute W. The platform overall is toxic as frick, so I figured limiting the number of tweets users can see would hopefully make people less addicted to it. I feel the only people who were genuinely upset and complained about that feature happening were those who are already hooked addicts. The pessimistic Twitter idiots realizing they're no longer able to complain and hate about everything in the world after 600 tweets. Unfortunately, I doubt that the change had any effect on making people less addicted to it, and I wouldn't be surprised if the feature was very quickly removed due to a large volume of complaints. The final and most recent change that was made at the time of this video being uploaded is, in my opinion, the most stupid, nonsensical change Elon has made so far. The renaming and rebranding of Twitter. Listen, as much as I can't stand and don't care about Twitter, I and most people would say that everything about Twitter was iconic. The name Twitter itself, that simple white bird in front of a sky blue background, the platform's coined word, tweets, is all iconic and known by most people. Everything being rebranded to X just doesn't hit the same. The name X isn't anything creative, distinguishable, or even catchy. It's literally just a letter in the alphabet. The exact same thing I just said about the new name can also be said about the new logo. It's just a very minimal designed X in front of a black background. The new name and logo for the site no longer have any uniqueness or personality to make it stand out. It now looks and feels like it's nothing more than a soulless corporate entity. It's all just so dumb because it wasn't at all needed and probably won't be beneficial to the platform. Even though I'm talking about it as if I care, trust me, I really don't. I'm speaking about the rebranding in the tone I am because I'm thinking Elon should care and should have known the new name and logo he chose for the platform would be disliked by pretty much anyone who uses the site and knows it for its iconic name and bird logo. He really dropped the ball with his decision to rebrand the platform. It wasn't needed as there was already a well-known name and logo loved by millions around the world. He just keeps making all these constant and excessive changes, most of which aren't having any positive impact on or benefiting the site in any way. Now to discuss the lawsuit. So Elon Musk's X Corp has sued a non-profit organization that monitors online hate speech, accusing it of falsely saying X is overwhelmed with harmful content. The frick? Where is the lie? The accusations being made against the non-profit group are bogus. I've been able to see for years now, even before the Musks Takeover, that Twitter, X, whatever you want to call it, has been a negative, toxic, pessimistic cesspool of a social media platform, which is why I stopped using it. Now, finally, an official group is trying to hold the platform accountable for spreading hate, and Elon chooses to sue them for monetary damages to the platform, allegedly as a result of the non-profit cherry-picking specific posts to drive away advertisers. What? There isn't any cherry-picking that has to be done to see how much toxicity and hatred is spread on the site. It takes only between a few minutes to around, I'd say, 30 minutes tops for anyone to scroll through different posts and replies within those posts to get a grasp of how much negativity is ping-ponged back and forth there, in comparison to any other social media site. The donut scared off advertisers on his own by the nonsensical decisions he's been making ever since buying Twitter last year. He has nobody to blame but himself for the downfall of X. Though instead of taking accountability, he's playing victim and shifting the blame on a non-profit in order to hide the truth. That really doesn't sit right with me, and as I said at the beginning of the video, was what pushed me to finally make a video discussing my thoughts about Twitter and Musk's takeover. Elon Musk making all of these out of the blue, absurd decisions and changes to what was once known as Twitter is very reminiscent of a toddler playing with toys in a sandbox, making things up on a whim that make no sense and that are burning his $44 billion purchase to ashes. Now nothing but a hollow shell of what it used to be. I really enjoy making this video. Just a relaxed semi-relaxed, other than the parts when I was fuming about Elon's nonsensical, just dumb decisions. Just a commentary about something I wanted to talk about with average gameplay and chill music, both serving as background noise and something to look at as I speak. Honestly, I think this is the way to go in terms of future content on the channel. I have tons, and when I say tons, I mean I have an entire list of at least 50 plus video ideas that just keeps growing each week. There are so many things I want to talk about. I've just been busy putting most of my time, focus, and energy into pursuing different self-employed, freelance type job ventures. I've been prioritizing that over my YouTube channel for over than a year now, which has resulted in there being a massive drought of content on the channel. I'm feeling rejuvenated though, and I've been doing my best recently to have somewhat of a consistent upload schedule again. Uploading at least one video a week, usually on Fridays around 12 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. I hope you enjoyed watching, and post in the comments any questions or thoughts you have about what I said in the video. Also post your thoughts about Elon Musk's Twitter takeover, and your thoughts on Twitter as a whole. I'd like to see what you say. Alright, that's it. Good times and positive vibes, everyone. Stay humble. Stay grateful.